이렇게 놓기로. 아, Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Horsefall Stadium for this vital National League North encounter between Bradford, Park Avenue and Guiseley. Our visitors currently sit bottom of the table, 3 points adrift of Farsley Celtic. Of course, only one team does go down this season. Big game for Guiseley. Park Avenue, a win for them, secure survival for the season. Means Mark Bauer's side's job would be done for the campaign. They still have 4 games to spare as well. It's going to run you through the lineups. We're still around about 23 minutes away from kick-off. For Park Avenue, George Sykes, Ken Worthy in goal. Mark Ross is the standing skipper today. He starts Akeem Hines, Lucas Dunstan, Mitch Lund, Sam Fielding, Dylan Motley-Henry, Harrison Hopper, Brad Doherty, Ollie Johnson and Lewis Knight. On the bench, goalkeeper Liam Paul, Ryan Tolson, Taylor Regan, Nicky Clee and Adam Nowakowski. As for Guiseley, our visitors, they of course come here on the back of what was a pretty disastrous result at home to Gateshead on Friday. 6-0 defeat there. In goal they have Owen Mason, Regan Hutchinson, Thierry Lattery Fairweather, George Cantrill, Hamza Ben Sheriff is the captain, Jason Straha, Kane Felix, Ethan Cartwright, Josh Stones, John Johnston and Lebron Mbaka. Big game this one, and just not too far away from kick-off as a fast approach, but a big game on Easter Monday. And of course, Guiseley only 3 points behind Farsley Celtic in 21st. Big game this one. Mark Bauer of course had a managerial spell at Guiseley between 2013 and 2016, guided the club to promotion to the National League as well during that time. Of course as well, last time Guiseley were here, nearly 986 days ago, a 5-0 victory. Never beaten them in a league game here, Park Avenue. Never beaten overcome Guiseley at the Horsefall Stadium. Times have really changed for both teams since that meeting 3 years ago, that's for sure. Guiseley, who were 20th when the season was curtailed last season, 19th the season before, my apologies, and then of course 19th the season before that. So a bit of a mixed contrast since their relegation from the National League back in 2018. This season they've got to risk not going down to 7th tier for the first time since 2010. That's the last time Guiseley were playing in the 7th tier of English football. Long time ago. Of course, Mark Bauer's side, 3 of the last 5 games have been goalless draws, but they've been good goalless draws though. Against the likes of Gateshead, Kidderminster and Chorley, all hard-fought points. So the last 2 games here have been 0-0 at the Horsefall Stadium as well. As for Guiseley, of course, they actually haven't conceded the most goals in the division, despite sitting bottom, which might be a surprise to many people, but they were thumped by league leaders Gateshead, of course, on Good Friday. For this game for Park Avenue, it's just all about getting the 3 points and securing survival for the season. They'll have a few opportunities to do that, even if they can't do it this afternoon. You'd probably pretty much confirmed, pretty much guaranteed this game is bigger for Guiseley, many people would say. But still a big game for Park Avenue as well. It's all about for them securing their spot in the National League North next season. Of course, looking at the lineups there, I mean, looking 2-2 draw when the two sides met as well at the end of 2021. Guiseley nicked a draw in the last minute in Nethermore that day. But as for Park Avenue, though, their recent record against Guiseley doesn't really read too nicely. In particular, that 5-0 defeat, which of course just was not really what which was nearly 3 years ago now. They're 986 days ago last time Guiseley were here and won 5-0, so a long time ago. Just looking at the 11s, which have now been put in front of me. Hamza Ben Sheriff is the captain for Guiseley, and the captain for Park Avenue is Mark Ross, who's the standing captain. Usually, of course, would be Nicky Clee, who is not. He's on the bench today. Looking at the both teams, both teams, of course, name their usual 5 substitutions. On the bench for Guiseley, Andrew Hollins, Scott Maloney, Prince Ekpolo, Darren Dominic Tare and Andrew Kellett are Guiseley's 5 on the bench. And as for Park Avenue, Liam Hall, Ryan Tolson, Taylor Regan, Nicky Clee and Adam Nowakowski. Always a dangerous player to come on at late stages if needed. Now it's both sides just warming up on this Easter Monday. Also, West Yorkshire derby, last West Yorkshire side to visit, of course, were Farsley Celtic. That ended with a 1-0 win for Park Avenue on, say, Monday night game. Again, Park Avenue were far from at their best, but got the 3 points nonetheless, which is all the important things. No doubt Mark Bauer's side really tightened up in recent weeks. They were beaten, of course, on Good Friday, 2-1. They were 1-0 up in that game, though, and played really well. But in the second half, they conceded 2 goals, which did in the end condemn them to a loss. We'll see, 3 of the last 5 games, though, for Park Avenue have ended in goalless draws. So it's a sign they are tightening up at the back, but also a sign they might be losing a little bit of their momentum going forward. They've been involved in some very good games this season, Park Avenue. Very entertaining ones here at the Horsefall Stadium. This one is a big one, of course. The recent record against Guiseley isn't really anything to shout about. The last time they won was actually Boxing Day 2018. It was a 5-1 win at Nethermore that day, so that was their last win. Of course, Guiseley returned the favour just under a year later with a 5-0 win here, and they haven't played each other here since, so it's been a while, it's fair to say. And of course, Park Avenue's home record against Guiseley is just one to not really speak about, in truth, so hopefully they can put that to an end today, though, and make this one an afternoon to remember. Of course, it was Boston United who did beat Park Avenue on Good Friday by 2-1. The last 2 games here have been goalless draws, as I mentioned as well. Park Avenue certainly are. They also last loss here on March 19th, just under a month ago against Gloucester City. Also a 3-2 defeat before that to Curzon Ashton. Their last win at home was that one against Farsley Celtic on March the 2nd. Again, that was far from the best performance, but the result was all that mattered that day. Of course, Guiseley and Farsley Celtic are the 2 teams pretty much competing right now for that final relegation spot. Of course, not willingly competing, I'm sure, but nonetheless they are competing. Of course, we'll give you score updates from Bradford City as well. They travel to Colchester. Farsley Celtic from Southport, by the way, in the other big game in the National League North. It's a big game for Guiseley anyway. Guiseley were to win here, of course. Goal difference would certainly not let them overtake them, but they can rely on other results going their way. You can have to say we're looking at the goal differences. The -35 for Guiseley, -38 for Farsley Celtic. So, in that sense, if Guiseley were to win and Farsley Celtic were to lose, then Guiseley would move off bottom. Of course, I do expect that might well be a fight that goes all the way to the end. Guiseley, of course, were a National League side for quite a few years up until 2018. Were promoted under Mark Bauer, Bradford Park Avenue's now manager. But a few years in the National League that didn't come to an end in 2018, and since then, Guiseley's finishes have been 19th, 9th, and 20th. Of course, they're not all necessarily been finishes because the seasons weren't finished in the 1920 and 2020-21 campaign. But they were where they were placed in the table at that time. Looking at the colours today, Park Avenue will be in their white shirts, shorts, and green stockings, and as for Guiseley, yellow shirts, black shorts, and also black stockings as well. Looking at goals scored, Guiseley have scored the least amount of goals in the division this season. Obviously a big problem and a big reason why they are down there in the table. Manager Steve Kittrick, of course, they did part ways with managers last week, say managers, because they had a couple of people in charge, Guiseley. Well, Steve Kittrick, who did have a spell here previously, was actually replaced by Mark Bauer when he was last in the Guiseley dugout. But he come back and, of course, did win his first game in charge. But after that, though, it's honestly the results on Friday certainly was a few alarm bells. I mean, Guiseley, though, they desperately need the points, but Park Avenue could do with them as well. Expecting a good turnout as well at the Horsefall Stadium from both sets of fans, of course. Guiseley fans don't have an awful long way to travel. Visiting Guiseley in a pre-season game against Bradford City earlier on in the season, and Guiseley fans were certainly in good voices there in July. That was the one of the first games really where fans were allowed back in the stadium. As for Park Avenue, though, the likes of Mark Ross, of course, is the standing captain, but they do have the top scorer Brad Doherty, Ollie Johnson and Lewis Knight there, so certainly got the attacking players, but with Guiseley players as well looking at Ben Sheriff, of course, a player is 34 years of age, been around at this sort of level for a while now, French-born midfielder. Spells with the likes of Notts County, Lincoln City as well, and of course before guys he was at York City, a fellow Yorkshire side. The evening caught right as well. He made his debut actually in that game against Gateshead. He actually starts this game, the number 8. From the deep end, it's fair to say, but why not? Of course, this is a game you want to make a name for yourself. Park Avenue. We're about 13 minutes away from kick-off now, so you can't underestimate the importance of this game. A West Yorkshire derby. Plenty of Yorkshire derbies, of course, at this level, but this one, the importance of it, especially for Guiseley, is not to go unnoticed.
Right, lads, thank you.
Still, no doubt, it's a big game as well, though, for Park Avenue. Of course, we're allowed to win here since the 2nd of March, so that's a run they're certainly allowed to put right, but they have had a couple of very good points here. Kidderminster game especially, and of course before that a 0-0 draw at Gateshead, so competing with teams at the top end of the table, and a win does secure survival, so it's the all-important thing for them.
That's probably the highest.
Well, as I mentioned last time, of course, they were here, Guiseley. It was 3 years ago now, so much changed in that time. It would be difficult to really give a fair reflection of that game. It was a 5-0 win that day, though, for Guiseley. And Park Avenue's last win was away at Guiseley, was 5-1, so a couple of goal fests in recent years, mainly for the away sides. It's going to be a very... It's 986 days, though. A lot, of course, can change in that time. It's unbeaten in 7 games at Park Avenue, guys. The last 7 at least, so such a long time ago now. Only top scorers are only on 4 though all season for guys. They've got 3 players on 4 goals all season, so certainly didn't have anyone prolific in the team for Park Avenue to necessarily keep out of the game. But the important thing is just, of course, just try and do their best going forward. Of course, Steve Kitcher, who did mention, was manager, of course, from December 2007 until September 2013. He was previously manager of Guiseley, so it's been a long time. He certainly knows the place very well. If there is a man to try and keep them up, of course, you're better off getting someone in who knows the club well. 62 goals conceded as well for them, and 4th most in National League North, though. The fact they are bottom of the table, it's not actually all that bad. They are 3 points from safety, but a win for them and a defeat for Farsley Celtic against Southport would be enough, actually, to take them off the bottom of the table. As I mentioned, the Steve Kitcher era did get off to a winning start for Guiseley as well. It is worth noting, I mean, the points at this stage of the season are absolutely all that matter for Guiseley, no matter how they come. That was a 2-0 win away at Kettering last week on Tuesday. Before that, though, they wasn't really on the best running form. They had a massive game, actually, back on the 5th of April away at Farsley Celtic. They were beaten there by a goal to 0. That really was a massive game. The players have gone back into the dressing room now, getting ready to come out. We're just over 10 minutes away from kick-off here at the Horsefall Stadium. And what's a massive game in the National League North between Bradford Park Avenue and Guiseley, a West Yorkshire derby. Guiseley's first visit here in 986 days. So that's a very, very long time ago. Of course, goalkeeper George Kempo just been 5-4 as well for Park Avenue, a player, of course, I called up with after one of the last home games here away at home to Kidderminster. He was truly great in that game, and especially the one against Farsley Celtic as well. Made some very good saves. And that's the experienced Mark Ross, of course, as well, the standing captain. The Park Avenue certainly have the players, and hopefully we're in for a very entertaining game as well. For Park Avenue, of course, the aim is just survival. That's what I do keep saying, but that is true. They win today, they do survive. Even if they don't win, though, they will have a few more bites of the cherry to do so. So it really much seems like they might well still be a National League North side next season. It's taken absolute calamity from here to not be. As for Guiseley, they're in major jeopardy of playing 7th-tier football next season for the first time since 2010. Of course, that year they did get promoted. They actually won the league 1 point ahead of Park Avenue. So, 8 years ago now, but that's certainly something nice they can say. And of course, they are against former manager Mark Bauer, who had a 3-year spell at Nethermore. He's been Park Avenue manager for a few years as well now, though. The goalkeeper on the bench as well today for Park Avenue. We're speaking about your goalkeeper from the academy. Ryan Tolson, of course, had another cap. He always a threat. He can play pretty much any position when he comes off, so that is something as well. But I'm just looking at the players, of course, for Guiseley as well. I think it's for them, they know how important this game is, so maybe expect them to raise their game. Despite, you've got to wonder how they're going to be on the back of the 6-0 defeat. But if there's a game to respond, it is this one, away at a local rival, so they'll certainly be eager to put things right in this one away from home. Referee is John Mulligan as well, and the assistants Henry Naylor and Alexander Kelly are the assistants. Obviously a big game, but there are other games going on as well across the country, and we'll give you score updates from Bradford City's trip to Colchester United in League 2. Of course, City not really got an awful lot to play for now, just all about ending the season with some momentum under Mark Hughes. 2 wins since he took over at Valley Parade, both been away from home. It's Colchester team who aren't yet safe. Well, Colchester, of course, a win today pretty much makes them. Not does not mathematically secure some safety, but pretty much would secure survival. Star awaiting the arrival of both teams 8 minutes away from kick-off at the Horsefall Stadium. Right. Park Avenue, it's been a good season for Park Avenue overall. I think if you're offered Park Avenue fan survival with 4 games to spare, if they do win this one, then they'd certainly have taken that at the start of the season. Really have put in some spirited displays at the Horsefall Stadium, as that one against Kidderminster a few weeks ago, really typified the season as a whole, really. Under pressure for the majority of the game, but came out with a 0-0. That's against Kidderminster side, of course, who pushed West Ham United all the way in the FA Cup this season, so certainly no slouches there. And Park Avenue know this is a big game and a big chance, of course, to secure survival, so big game. Also, all the players on as well. We've got Dylan Motley-Henry, who been here a few years now, Motley-Henry, and he is just one of the players starting in this one.
Just a bit high.
Brad Doherty as well, of course, top scorer this season. Starts as well. Of course, Park Avenue goals, as I mentioned, have dried up a little bit recently. They did manage to get one on Good Friday, even though the game ended in defeat. They've what they've got to do today really is get the win. That's, I'm sure, that all supporters are asking for. And even Mark Bauer as well would love to get one over on his old side. You travel to Hereford on Saturday as well. Park Avenue at Darlington, host Darlington here on the 30th. Then away at Chester, and then at home to Southport to finish off the season. The teams are about to make their way onto the field any moment. Bradford Park Avenue versus Guiseley at the Horsefall Stadium. Brad Doherty did score a penalty, by the way, as well. At the weekend, you're listening to commentary provided by Samuel Wright at the Horsefall Stadium. Also alongside we do have Guiseley Radio as well, so in the gantry. Entrance players are about to make the entrance. It's become a bit of a dull day really at the Horsefall Stadium in terms of the weather, but we are 5 minutes away from kick-off. And hopefully the weather improves on this Easter Monday. It's a very good turnout as well at the Horsefall Stadium, of course, where I'm standing in the gantry. Players are ready to come out now. This is an absolutely massive game. It's one of the biggest games in the National League North. I think these two teams will play against one another. There's a bit of history between these two teams, of course, as well. Bradford Park Avenue's record against Guiseley just isn't really particularly great, but they are this season in a high position at the table. Big chat to South. If Barnsley Celtic was to win today and Guiseley lose, the gap would be 6 points with only 4 games remaining. So that would be very good to see them turning it round. Park Avenue have played 37 games, this season, and 2 have Guiseley in the league. Park Avenue in 16th place, 11 wins, 9 draws, 17 defeats. Guiseley 8 wins, 6 draws, 23 defeats, the most defeats in the league. Surprised no one considering they are bottom of the table.
So
This game all about getting 3 points for both teams. A draw doesn't really do Park Avenue too much harm, but a win is possibly what they have been doing.
6 Sam Fielding, 7 Dylan Watt.
And now the players are about to make their way onto the field, as I've said a couple of times already, but eventually they will do. We're 4 minutes away from kick-off. 186 days it's Scarcely visited here, and now the players are about to make their way on. Nicely with their yellow shirts, Park Avenue with their white and green. Big game for both teams as we are about, so both players are about to make their way out onto the pitch. And Mark Bauer just leaves the gantry alongside me. We'll be catching up with Mark Bauer after the game. Got some result of course against his side. I will just run you through the lineup before we do get underway. So, George Sax-Temple in goal, Park Avenue, Mark Ross, Akeem Hines, Lucas Dunstan, Mitch Lund, Sam Fielding, Dylan Molly Henry, Harrison Hopper, Brad Doherty, Ollie Johnson, and Lewis Knight, on bench of Tim Hall, Ryan Solson, Taylor Reagan, Nicky Clear, and Halsky. And as for Geisley, on the in-goal we have Owen Mason, Regan Hutchison, Thierry Fairweather, George Cantrell, Hamza Berrigan, skipper, Jason Strong, Kane Fields, John Sykes, John Johnston, and Lebron and Baker. And then on the bench, Andrew Collins, Scott Maloney, Prince Cola, Darren Dominic and Andrew Kelly.
Right back, Matthew Fairweather at left back, centre half to
Park Avenue will be kicking from right to left, where I am standing, and guys like George Cantrell to right. Big game this is to keep on mentioning. John Johnston, the importance of this game. More importantly for guys like still a massive game for Park Avenue as well.
Looking like a pretty good turnout at the Horse Hall this afternoon.
Expecting around about 1,000 fans, to be fair, so
because the Protestant Green
a good turnout.
Horse Hall, so we're just sort of peering through.
Bounce back from that 600 feet against Gateshead. They'll be eager to do. As for Park Avenue, they were beaten as well on Good Friday. Let's not forget by 2 goals to 1, despite being 1-0 in the game.
But you know what? We've had worse before.
So see now which way they will be kicking this side. Both captains have made their way into the centre circle.
So
Mark Ross and Hamza Berricha.
All to play for this afternoon, Bradford.
Mark Ross, the standing skipper.
Mathematically so with a win.
Mathematically safe with a win today, Bradford Park Avenue, don't forget. So that's the important thing. They are pretty much safe already, but just about making it safe. Confirming that safety status.
There are other games going on.
Here we go now. We're about to get underway at the Horsefall Stadium. Bradford Park Avenue to kick us off, and that will be with Lewis Knight.
In their own.
Lewis Knight who scored the winner last time Park Avenue won here, 1-0 against Farsley Celtic back on March 2nd,
not playing this afternoon
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, I imagine they may well be sweating despite the fact that they're not playing at all, because everybody else around them and below them is.
If you are a Telford fan, you're tuning in
us underway
for some reason instead of spending a week back holiday with your family.
Lewis Knight ready.
Then welcome.
Everyone's ready now. The game is about to kick off at nearly 3 o'clock.
And give us a shout on the
and
chat.
Here we go. We're off underway at the Horsefall Stadium. It's National League North game between Bradford Park Avenue and Geisley. The ball goes forward early on. It's headed away by the Geisley defence.
Matthew Fairweather on the ball with Geisley taking the kick off.
Want to get at this Geisley defence. They did concede 6 goals, of course. We'll give you score updates. There's actually an injury here.
Already.
It might well be Lewis Knight, who's gone down for 20 seconds. This would be a bit of a blow to lose him so early on in the game.
Lewis Knight, I believe, who is just crouched down. Didn't really see a great deal coming together there.
Awfully sure what happened there, but he does take it here and
to some treatment within.
Given the assessment of him as well.
That's a bit of a false start.
I think this must be a play to stall the play early on. So we'll give you score updates from Bradford City, who's trip to Colchester United as well. As well as Matt will be giving you an update from Farsley Celtic as they host Southport. So big game. He's going to walk off the field early on. So actually, it wasn't actually Lewis Knight. My apologies, he went down. It looks like it might actually be Brad Doherty who went down. Looks like the referee is going to give the ball back to Geisley. I believe it was in the possession of the visitors.
We were in possession. So it'll be a drop ball for the Lions.
Foul given a free catch. It was actually Sam Fielding after all that he went down.
By the way, John Mulligan.
It was Lewis Knight, but I was quite far off with that. Midfielder Sam Fielding. Ball played down the line now over the top. That's going to drift down the play. It was being chased by Lebron and Baker. But he didn't quite get there. It goes out for the 90 seconds played at the Horsefall Stadium. Still 0-0. Nothing really happened as yet other than that injury to Sam Fielding. Goal kick going to be taken by George Sykes Kenworthy, who has been in fine form.
Ethan Cartwright, sorry.
Sykes Kenworthy to look the ball from his 6-yard box.
He said will be match fit. All being playing at a lower level. He's played 39
with the goal
games
kick
in the North West Counties Premier League this season.
Knight, he goes to flick it on, it's headed away though. The ball's then headed back forward by Mitch Lund. Knight competes for it, again it's headed away. Guys are doing well defensively. Ross goes for it.
And he's also plausible.
Fielding, who is okay, hooks it forward, headed away now. Doxy goes to get there. In the end, it's nearly given away. Doxy might get there back to Johnson on the edge of the area.
Ollie Johnson outside the penalty area.
And now here is
left-hand side now with Lewis Knight. Knight looks to get it back to Sam Fielding.
Fielding with a left-footed cross. The back post and a back delivery.
Towards the guys that reach the 6-yard box.
Will be cleared away as well. And Park Avenue with a good break forward. Sykes moves from the long way off this line here, and he does get there.
On the right.
He's being closed down by John Johnston.
Park Avenue.
Now it's falls out of play as well for a throw in two guys. A good break forward there by Park Avenue, though. Good pressure put on the Gazzy defence. Ball went into the middle, but it wasn't quite met. And it actually ended up just missing the head in the box at the far post. 3 minutes in, still 0-0, but a bright stop there by Park Avenue.
Was pretty useful.
Here's Guiseley in possession now. Ball is played forward by Regan Hutchinson. It's given away to Sam Fielding. Fielding gone as well tonight. Back to Fielding.
Now with Sam
Fielding plays it forward. Tonight, chance to maybe shoots blocked, and then that will run through to the goalkeeper. Not bad defending in the end. Fairness from Guiseley. The ball came through to Lewis Knight. Ball was well won back by Sam Fielding. Threaded one through tonight. Got a shot away with his left foot, but it was blocked. And that's pulled the sting out of the effort, and it comfortably ran through to goalkeeper Evan Mason. 3.5 minutes played, still 0-0 at the Houseful Stadium. Big game. West Yorkshire Derby in the National League North. Headed away by Ross, the skipper.
Getting the ball
Flipped up as well. Controlled. Actually going through tonight. Said dropped Doherty. A bit of a heavy touch in the end, but that heavy touch nearly presented the ball through to Brad Doherty. Now it's Guiseley in possession at the back with Hamza Barachek. He goes back to his goalkeeper Evan Mason. Guys are just looking to get a bit of a foothold in the game. 2 minutes in, it's been rather even so far. Ball's now played forward and over the top. It's just out of the way there from Akeem Hines, and he'll let it go for a throw in
from John Johnston.
4.5 minutes played, still 0-0.
Watch that go out for a throw.
Akeem Hines did take a throw on this near left-hand side. It's a great turnout at the Horsefall Stadium this afternoon. It's going to be Hines to take the throw. Most avenues have been blocked off, no pun intended there, by Guiseley. Ball thrown forward. Flicked away, and that's controlled by
dispossessed by Regan Hutchinson. Now John Johnston can try and go down forward.
Blocked, and now
there again. Hutchinson on the follow-up though.
Guiseley continues to go forward. They've not really got many options. The cross comes in, it's blocked, and then that will be cleared away
by Mitchell Lund.
Mitchell Lund who got back there, just got in front there with LeBron and Becker. It still remains 0-0. Guiseley's first little break forward there, trying to cause a couple of issues for the Park Avenue defence. The win makes Park Avenue mathematically safe today. As for Guiseley, just all about getting the points on the board, really. Again, we'll give you score updates, of course, from the games. The big games in the National League North. The main big game there, of course, is between Farsley Celtic and Southport, one that Guiseley fans would love to know about. If Guiseley fans are listening, as the ball comes in, a header comes in there from Guiseley, and it goes wide. Farsley Celtic, of course, are hosting Southport in the other game, so I'm sure if Guiseley fans are listening in, which they might well be listening to the radio, then they'll be more interested in that game, arguably. So they do win this game. They, of course, do go level on points. They would go above them, actually, if Farsley Celtic were to fall to defeat. Still 0-0 there. The ball's played forward there. It's flicked away. It's actually flicked out of play. And it's
on the far side.
Actually, Dylan Henry went for it with a header. And now it's going to be a throw in to Park Avenue on the far side with Mark Ross. Take it.
He's taken short. Lewis Knight on that right side.
It's Motley Henry who goes to turn.
Dylan Motley Henry.
Motley Henry then throws it on. Then it's going to go out of play, is it? It's going to be a corner to Park Avenue. 6.5 minutes in, still 0-0. Park Avenue fans sounding in good voice so far.
6.5 minutes gone, still goalless. The first corner
Park Avenue first corner of the game. Can they cause some troubles for the Guiseley defence? Of course, there was issues defensively, especially on Good Friday for Guiseley, and this game they've done quite well defensively so far. We are in the very early stages. Corner about to come in
eventually
on the right hand side.
Play back in. The 1-2 between Taker and the man goes close, and some great tackling from George Campbell getting possession back the line.
Forward.
Came Fitz,
Good play in the end.
On him from Lucas Addiston.
Lucas Addiston there with a good challenge.
Goes out for a throw in.
Correction, Farsley 0, Southport 0.
Oh.
As far as Southport 0, of course, in the other game so far. And the ball's thrown forward now. It's headed away by Motley Henry. This Guiseley have possession, still goalless in Horsforth Stadium. Ball forward to Sam Fielding. Fielding finds Johnson. Johnson tries to bring it forward. He then goes back. Possession by Park Avenue. And here now is Lund. Lund into 9. Turns. And the end is Fielding. Fielding kind of trips over there. Sort of fit in that, but
forward from Guiseley
comes across to get there.
With Josh Stone,
plays forward by Mark Ross. The skipper is going to be in front. It's actually a throw in Guiseley's favour. 8 minutes in, still 0-0. Not much into the goal line so far. If anything, it's probably more come from Guiseley from Bradford Park Avenue. My apologies. Guiseley though, looking to come forward.
Chase after the ball. He does that.
Ross, he wasn't too happy with the challenge at first as they come in, but I don't think there was anything awfully wrong with it. It was a bit forceful. Becker now with it, plays it down the line, and let's see what he was trying to do there, the Guiseley man. Well, he just got a little bit too much on it, and it goes out quite forcefully for a goal kick. 8.5 minutes in, still 0-0 at Horsforth Stadium. Southport versus France has to be Southport, sorry, is the other game. I will give you score on this from in the National League North, and also Bradford Park Avenue as well. Bradford City, sorry, they're up to Colchester United on Easter Monday. Ball is played forward now to Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson goes back, and then it goes back to the goalkeeper. Bit of pressure from the goalkeeper starts Kenworthy there. Ball was played back by Harrison Hopley. So Fielding fixed up in the middle of the park. He went down with injury early on, was recovered well, Fielding, and ball now falls to Brad Doherty, who looks to come forward. He is fouled. He was actually fouled by George Cantrill there.
Cantrill for a foul on Brad Doherty.
Doherty, the top scorer for Park Avenue this season. Rather quiet in games that I've watched in recently, admittedly. Doherty, Park Avenue are still 0-0 in this game. So Fielding to take the free kick. He goes over towards Motley Henry. That's too much on that, I think. Motley Henry will get there. Thought it was actually going to trick out a play. Motley Henry turns, but in the end, it's gone out for a goal kick. Felix was just trying to be a bit too clever there against Kane Felix, and it goes out for a goal kick. Nearly 10 minutes in. Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0, and it's still Southport 0, Farsley 0, Farsley 0, Southport 0 in the other game. Again, we'll keep giving you score updates though from that one. Goal kick taken by Owen Mason. Park Avenue fans behind him making a bit of a racket, and he does that. Ball's flicked on now. 12-1 there by Rich Lund. He goes down, but the referee benefit. Motley Henry goes on, and he's down there. He was up against Thierry Lefebvre with him there. Ball was given, ball down the line. Ross could head it out for a corner. And that's the first corner of the game to Guiseley. First just over 10 minutes in. First corner of the game for the visitors.
It's taken us how long? It's taken us 10 minutes, but we have a corner.
And Park Avenue just got some defending to do here. Can't afford to be sloppy in this game, but 10 minutes in, and game's been rather even so far, I'd say. Not really anything in terms of goal scoring opportunities. Still 0-0. Corner is going to be taken on the far side by Guiseley. Comes into the area. Sats Kenworthy will claim that one well. Not the best delivery. Sats Kenworthy can throw it out as well. It's on advance attempt to Harrison Hopley goes to get there, but a couple of Guiseley players were there, and the ball's flicked on, and that one just easily run through to Sats Kenworthy again. It was not a bad break forward, that actually, by Harrison Hopley, but Guiseley had enough men back there to deal with it. The ball played back forward was flicked on easily into the arms of Sats Kenworthy. Keeper in fine form, George Sats Kenworthy, in fairness to him. Called up with him after the Kidderminster game a few weeks ago. Very down to earth and quiet, but in fairness to him though, he does his talking on the pitch, and he's been very good recently. The ball is with Motley Henry now, and he's tackled.
Ball forward down the
line to Ross. And Ross will see that one out, will he? Will. Standing skipper Mark Ross sees it out for a throw in. And that throw in is to Sats Kenworthy. Now, It's played out to Akeem Hines.
Position for Avenue.
Akeem Hines back to Mitch Lund. Lund looking for his options. He's not got much forward. Goes back to Akeem Hines just in front of the Park Avenue dugout. Akeem Hines then gives it away. Johnston wins it off him. And Geisley can now come forward. He plays it on.
Picks up as far as Cartwright. He's got a double goal this season. Goes for goal.
12 minutes in, and that's the first effort on target, I believe, for Geisley, and it was a bit of a tester besides Kenworthy. A rather comfortable save, but he did well to win the ball back in the end.
And a good effort
Johnston.
Cartwright to get it on his...
So Cartwright, though, got the ball on his left foot eventually, and his shot, though, pretty comfortably saved by George Sachs Kenworthy, but a tester nonetheless for the goalkeeper. Ball play forward towards Doherty. Park Avenue will win the ball back as well in midfield, but then they've given it away, but they've won a free kick around about 30 yards out.
Against the Lions number 4.
It's going to continue. The 40 Celtic, give you a 40 Celtic update, by the way, from their game. It is still 0-0. There's been a substitute as well for Celtic. They've been forced into an early change. Still 0-0 at the Horsefall Stadium on Park Avenue. Have a dangerous free kick, which is only 13 minutes in.
Doesn't stop me pacing.
Now as the ball's
Who would have thought this would be a fitness regime as well as
that's a free kick going to be taken by Park Avenue. It's going to be on the left-hand side. Highland's over it. Once he takes it, it's going to be flipped on the way. It's Lewis Knight who actually took it, and then the ball is cleared away by Geisley, and then goes back by Harrison Hopper in the midfield. And the ball goes back to Sykes Kenworthy. He plays it forward with his left foot. Johnson controls it. Now Johnson can go back to George Sykes Kenworthy in the box. He's going to be closed down here. He has to clear it away. It was John Johnson putting him under a bit of pressure there. Ball forward is cleared away again. Guys, just starting to grow into this game slightly. Nearly 14 minutes played. Still 0-0. Geisley have had the shot on target in the game so far. Ball comes forward now. It's actually a free kick given in Park Avenue's favour there. Really good work rate. Getting back by Lewis Knight, I believe it was. Fouled going forward, and Mark Bauer giving a bit of an applause there to Knight for his work rate. And besides, Kenworthy is going to take a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. 14 minutes in, and it's still 0-0 at the Horsefall Stadium. It's a big game. West Yorkshire Derby in the National League North. Gotta say, it's been rather even so far, but guys, they are slowly growing into it. The ball comes forward now. It's going to be headed away by Jason Schraha. And then it's forward. Here now. Ball is with Ross, and Ross has to go back to Sykes Kenworthy. Sykes Kenworthy on a bouncing ball has to just kick it forward, and that's going to be headed away. And it's played forward again, and then it's again headed away. Actually, a bit of head tennis going on in the middle of the park. Park Avenue can control fielding, clears it upfield, and then that's going to be cleared. Of course, last time guys were here 3 years ago, 986 days, they won 5-0. But on this occasion, they're very much coming here in confidence. We're top of the league that day, and right now they look to get off the bottom of the league. So ball played forward there, it's headed away by Akeem Hines. 15 minutes played, still 0-0 at the Horsefall Stadium in this game between Bradford Park Avenue and Geisley. And the ball is now with Regan Hutchinson. He brings it forward. Robinson Broadness, they back off him. He goes on now. Ball going to play in. It's not a bad one. And it's cleared away. But then it comes out back. Another chance. Questions it again. Somehow Park Avenue survived. It was Regan Hutchinson with a chance. A great opportunity for Geisley to take the lead. And somehow Park Avenue have scrambled it away. I can't believe that did not end up in the back of the net. What a brilliant opportunity that was for the visitors to take it back and take a priceless lead at the Horsefall Stadium. But in the end, Park Avenue's defence survives. And guys, they have a corner though. The pressure is not over yet. Ball comes into the middle. It's headed. It's actually a foul on the goalkeeper. It was Jason Schraha who got there. Actually, a foul given on George Sykes Kenworthy. Never ended up in the back of the net anyway. Kind of went over, but the pressure for now is relieved. 16 minutes in, and guys, they feel like they might well be in front. Well, I feel like they should be in front, I should say. Still 0-0 though. As Sykes Kenworthy plays it short to Mitch Lund. And Lund's now looking for his options moving forward. He carries on, he goes out to Ollie Johnson. Johnson can go back to Harrison Hopper, who then goes back to George Sykes Kenworthy. Plays one out, it's going to be fine right out of play, and Park Avenue can't seem to get into a rhythm right now. After what was a rather bright start to the game from early doors, I think Guiseley have really grown into this and somehow never took the lead a moment ago. It's in possession now with Guiseley. With Hutchinson, the man who had the best chance of the game so far. Here's Johnston. He can bring it forward. Johnson goes inside. He's allowed to go a pretty long way here, but in the end, though, I think he's going to lose possession. Well, he does eventually, but it's a free kick being given in their favour, actually. Guiseley have a free kick in a dangerous position early on. Still 0-0 at the Horsfall Stadium. Guiseley have a dangerous free kick. Now it's quite a long way out, this one. It's not sure which player's going to fancy it, but we are 17.5 minutes in, and it is still 0-0. 2 or 3 players might fancy this one for Guiseley, who have been putting some good pressure on the Park Avenue defence recently. 2 players stand over it. Not quite see who it is, where I'm from, but whoever it is, this could cause 1 or 2 issues. It's a long way out. Free kick comes in. It's not a bad effort. It's just wide of the goal. It's a really good effort, actually. I think it might have been by Ethan Cartwright who took that one on. And it really starts Kenworthy scrambling across his goal. In the end, it just drifted wide. The effort actually came in. It looked for a moment like it was going to nestle into the bottom corner. It was actually by John Johnston, my apologies, who took the shot on. It was a long way out, but it's a really good strike, and it very nearly crept into that bottom corner. 18.5 minutes played, still 0-0, but Guiseley right now with the team on top. Sights Kenworthy puts one forward. It's headed back towards the Park Avenue defence. On the cover, it's cleared away. It's headed back forward by Regan Hutchinson. And then it's cleared away by Keem Hines. It's controlled again. It's barely won, but Bradford's gone down there. It's a bit hurt. Richland's got to head this one back to his keeper, does he know? But then falls on the volley, and the volley was invited to John Johnston. He got it wrong though. He dragged it across and it goes wide. Guiseley are well and truly on top here at the Horsfall Stadium, though they need the points. And with the way both teams are playing, you can tell. 19 minutes in, it's still 0-0. You've got to give credit, though, to Guiseley so far. They've really come out here. They are the team bottom of the table, but if you watch the opening 90 minutes of this game, you might not think so. Put some good pressure on, but the big issue for them has been the lack of goals, and despite the way they are playing, they've not scored yet, and that's exactly what Guiseley need right now is goals. They are the lowest scorers in the division, of course, and I mentioned earlier on. Lowest scorers, 62 goals conceded as well. So the 4th most in the division. Sights Kenworthy takes a goal kick. Molly Henry goes for it, and Guiseley fans appeal for a free kick, but that's just going to run out for a throw in, which is going to be collected by Jason Schraha. Last time Guiseley were here nearly 3 years ago, 986 days ago, and it ended in a 5-0 win for the visitors that day. Park Avenue's last win against Guiseley was away from home 5-1, so big away wins for the visitors can be quite common in this fixture. And coming forward now with Thierry Lackby Fairweather. In the end, that's going to be a throw into Guiseley. We're at the 20-minute mark. It's 0-0. But Guiseley will feel like they might well deserve to be in front, but that's not the case right now. Of course, Farsley Celtic, when they came here as well, a similar sort of first half in a way. Put a lot of pressure on the defence, but couldn't really find the breakthrough. Park Avenue scored right after half-time and went on to win the game by 0-0. Throw-in is going to be taken by LeBron and Becker on the far side. Looks like it might be shaping up for a long throw here as well. He does. It's going to be all the way in. It's going to be cleared away by Hines. And now that they win it back though. And here now is Johnston. Johnston lips one in, and Sights Kenworthy will get there. He'll take that one all day long. And a few guys players frustrated there that a better quality delivery didn't really come in. They were positioned well. But Sights Kenworthy back there and was able to, got there and was able to make a pretty simple catch in the end. He plays it forward towards Johnson. Rather quiet game so far for Ollie Johnson. And now Guiseley can play it forward. It's blocked away. And that will go out for a throw-in. I think he might take one in the face there, Harrison Hopper. No, he is actually okay. Here, it's going to be a throw-in taken by Regan Hutchinson, who had a fantastic chance to give his side the lead earlier on. It's a nice turn there by Becker, and he's fouled by Ollie Johnson. A combination of Ollie Johnson and Sam Fielding bring him down, and Guiseley have a free kick just in front of the halfway line on the right-hand side. 21.5 minutes played, Still Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0. Free kick going to be taken by John Johnston, who has to take it back a few yards on the referee's orders. It's a long, long way out here, just across the halfway line, so a nod of a shot at goal that we saw like a few moments ago, or very, very low. He is going to just hoof it forward, I imagine he does, up towards the 18-yard box, and it's going to go over everyone and go out harmlessly for a goal kick. On this 22 minutes, you've got to credit to Guiseley the way they've played, the way they've responded to that 6-0 defeat on Good Friday, but it's 0-0, which is the most important thing, really, and a point really doesn't really do any harm to Park Avenue, really. Just a win makes them mathematically safe, but it's pretty much inevitable they're going to stay up at this stage anyway. Ball's played forward now. It's taken in well. It was taken in well by Luca Dunstan. Ball comes back forward again. Excuse me, their ball forward. Oh, it's going to be given away, actually. It was Mbeka who went to find Kane Felix, but got too much on the ball, and he goes out of play for a Park Avenue throw-in on that far side. We're halfway through the first half. It is 0-0 still at the Horsfall Stadium. It's been Guiseley who probably had the better of it in terms of chances, but not in terms of goals. The only stat that matters is the scoreline, and right now it is 0-0. It's headed back away. Park Avenue haven't beaten Guiseley here before, so it's certainly good, and they want to get off their back. Guiseley are in jeopardy of playing 7th tier football for the first half of 2010. Ball comes forward now. It's well covered though, and it's cleared away. It's Lewis Knight who was looking to get it behind there. It's good defending from the Guiseley number 4. It's George Cantrell who got there. Ball's played through now. And now here comes Park Avenue with Mbeka on the inside of the area. Mbeka crosses one in, and it's going to be headed away by Dunstan. Finds Motley Henry. Chance of Park Avenue to get something going, moving forward now. Here is Doherty in the middle of the park. One with the outside of the boot. It's a poor ball though, and it's going to be given away to Regan Hutchinson. See what he was trying there. The ball's now played forward to Johnston. Up against Hines. Johnson crosses one in. Not a bad delivery. It's going to go over everyone though, and it falls to Kane Felix at the back post. Felix plays him with the right foot. Across to the back post. It's going to be headed away for a corner, is it? No, it's actually a goal kick in the end. It was actually Doherty. He tracked back a long way to get there, in fairness to Brad Doherty. It was Mbeka at the back post. Just couldn't really get anything on it. And it goes out for a goal kick. 24 minutes in, still 0-0. Guiseley looking much more threatening going forward. A very, very good record at the Horsfall Stadium, Guiseley. But when you're bottom of the league, records don't really play on your mind an awful lot, really. You just got to get the 3 points. All Guiseley need to come here and do. And so far, they're not doing that, but they've played a good start to the game. 25 minutes in, still 0-0. Park Avenue's last 2 games here have ended in goalless draws. Well, 3 of the last 5 games in general have ended in goalless draws. Besides, Kenworthy plays one forward. It's headed away. It's headed back by Fielding, and that's going to go out of play for a throw-in to Guiseley. It looks like it's going to be taken quickly, but it will be left for right back Regan Hutchinson. Hutchinson take just in front of the Guiseley dugout. As I was mentioning about score updates as well from other games, as I will break off temporarily for that. The ball comes in, it's going to be cleared away. Colchester lead against Bradford City after 16 minutes. Goal scored by Kenlock at the JobServe Community Stadium there. Ball's out on the right hand side now, so will Guiseley have it, and it's going to be a goal kick in the end. Last touch was off John Johnston. It was Ollie Johnson who was tracking back there, and he wins his side a goal kick. You can't really fault the work rate of the Park Avenue players so far, but not really been the 25 minutes they probably have anticipated. It's a side bottom of the league, but credit Guiseley, they're really playing this game with everything, as they have to at this stage of the season. So Bradford City trail in Sky Bet League 2 against Colchester. And as for the other game in this league, of course the big game in this league really, that surrounds this one, it's between Farsley Celtic, of course, and Southport. And that one is 0-0 as well. So all big games at the bottom of the league and 0-0 so far. Here now is Lewis Knight, who does well in the end. He's run the ball out of play though. Good energy showed there by Lewis Knight, but he got to the byline, crossed it in, and in the end it goes out. Well, by the time he got the crossing, the ball was already out of play. So no matter what he did with it, it did not come to anything. Still 0-0. Guiseley, as I say, the team who probably had the better of it so far. With Park Avenue, though, always carry a threat themselves going forward. Owen Mason to take the goal kick. Feels like it's been a while since I mentioned Owen Mason's name, but he is taking the goal kick now for Guiseley. And he does play one just over the halfway line. Fielding competes for it. It's going to go over his head though. Akeem Hines goes to get there. He's up against Johnston. Seems to have been a regular battle in the game so far. Johnston versus Akeem Hines. Left back Akeem Hines. Always impressed whenever I've watched him, and he's done so quite well so far. Albeit the opportunities really have often come down that right hand side. They do certainly carry a threat with a combination of Regan Hutchinson and John Johnston. Ball's going to be thrown down the line now towards Johnston. It's headed away by Hutchinson. Brad Doherty drops deep to receive the ball. He plays it back to Mitch Lund. Lund forward of his left foot. And that's just over the head. It's going to be cleared away. Fairness to guys, defensively so far, they've not done too badly at all. Ball over the top now. Akeem Hines will get there ahead of Johnston. Hits it up in the air and Mark Ross completes the clearance. Harrison Hockett competes for it. And the ball's run back by Cartwright. Played forward by Hutchinson towards Josh Stone. Josh Stone's delivery to the back post. Not a bad one. Just going to elude Kane Felix though and go out for a goal kick. I've only mentioned Josh Stone's name all game, to be fair. 27.5 minutes in. And we've barely seen Josh Stones really get on the ball. But it is 0-0 so far. But Guiseley, though, I think they're not happy with the way they've played, but the only thing that matters for them is the scoreline, as I've mentioned. So that's for Park Avenue. They know that they win today and they are mathematically safe. So that is the important thing. Goal kick going to be taken by George Sykes-Kenworthy. Across to the back post there. Just a little bit too long for Kane Felix. Just went out for a goal kick and the ball's been played forward. Headed on well by Ollie Johnson. And in the end, offside Lewis Knight. Lewis Knight certainly does not agree with that, but the flag has gone up. Now it's going to be Guiseley with a free kick. Around about 20 yards from their own goal. The ball is now with Guiseley, with Hutchinson. Takes it over the halfway line. And he also finds LeBron and Becker. Ball played down the line as well by Johnston. Back to Becker again. And Becker onto Hutchinson in the area, but he can't quite get there. He stretches to retrieve the ball. In the end, he's giving it away. Park Avenue playing forward. Now there's the flick on. That surely a foul. It is a foul by Jason Strahal. Went in with a high boot, and Lewis Knight put his head there. And whenever the attacker does that, they will 9 times out of 10 win a free kick, and that's what happened on that occasion. Just on the halfway line. Sam Fielding going to take it. It's between Sam Fielding and Mitch Lund. The ball's played forward towards Dylan Motley-Henry, but it's flicked on by Dunstan. And Thierry Fairweather is good against Dylan Motley-Henry. He shields the ball out of play, does he? It's actually a goal kick in the end, yes. Just about does enough. Motley-Henry made a valiant effort to try and keep it in, though. Half an hour in. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0 in this West Yorkshire derby in the National League North. Big game for Guiseley more than Park Avenue. Park Avenue, though, they know if they offered them at the start of the season a win, of course, safety with 4 games remaining, I'm sure they'd have taken it, and they win today. They are mathematically safe. Pretty sure they'll stay up anyway, as most people are, but a win against West Yorkshire rivals, their first win at home to Guiseley, would do no harm either. That's not the case at the moment, but there's still a lot of time in the game. It's Owen Mason moves one forward. It's going to be cleared away, and Park Avenue have possession now. Fielding plays one over the top, and now Knight will chase it. Knight beats the offside trap, gets him behind. Chancellor to maybe shoot. He does shoot, and it has to be saved by the goalkeeper Owen Mason. First receiving Park Avenue for a while. He broke in behind there. Hamza Ben Sheriff. My apologies, was chasing him. Lewis Knight always had the beating of him in a foot race. He got him behind, had the shot, and it was saved by Owen Mason at his near post. Half an hour, and that's probably the best chance we've seen from Park Avenue so far. It was a good chance, and it was a decent save by the goalkeeper at his near post. Kept it well protected, and it remains 0-0. Corner now, though, for the hosts. Comes in, it's Motley-Henry, it's going to miss him. And now the ball's in possession, goes all the way back to the goalkeeper from the position of a corner, and have gone all the way back to the keeper, Sykes-Kenworthy, who then moves it forward. It's a long kick. It's controlled well by Fielding. He plays it to Ollie Johnson. Now Park Avenue with a chap. Johnson crosses in straight into the arms there. Owen Mason couldn't make the most of it. Now Guiseley can come forward. Guiseley have got a few bodies forward as well on this attack as well, but really good tracking back though by Lewis Knight. He manages to keep possession for now, then he fouls his man though and gets to win the ball back. And Guiseley with a break, and then the game just opened up ever so slightly for a moment there. It was Sykes-Kenworthy. The ball went all the way back to him from a corner. He then looked one forward. Fielding controlled it well. Found Johnson. Johnson's cross there was right into the arms of Owen Mason. He'll be very disappointed with that. Last time, of course, Guiseley were here. They won 5-0 3 years ago, as I mentioned. That, though, was 986 days ago, and a lot has changed in 986 days, that is for sure. So, yeah, they do have a free kick now, though, guys. And they take it into the middle. It's not a ball. Ben Sheriff flicks it on, and it's easily saved by Sykes Kenworthy. Ben Sheriff did get his head there first, the Guiseley skipper, former York City man. Got the flick on, but he just stood up tall there and made a pretty comfortable save. Did Sykes Kenworthy. Last kept clean sheets here in his last 2 games. Ball is now with Doherty, who's dropped deep to receive it and goes back to Mitch Lund. And Lund then goes back to Sykes Kenworthy. He's been closed down there by Josh Stones. He plays a good ball though, Sykes Kenworthy to the right hand side. And the ball's Lucas Johnston, who tries to play it in behind, but he loses possession. And here is Ben Sheriff. Plays one over the top towards Johnston. Sykes Kenworthy comes and will get there, he will. Well, just about got inside his penalty area by the time he caught it. 32.5 minutes in, still Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0. Guiseley probably have had the better of the first half, but the only thing that matters is the scoreline, and it's still 0-0 so far. And now here is a foul. In fact, it's going to be a free kick to Guiseley. Bradford City currently trail 1-0 as well to Colchester United in Sky Bet League 2. And as for Farsley Celtic in the other big game, it's still 0-0 in their game as well with Southport as they come forward there, Guiseley. It was George Cantrell who made a bit of a burst through. The ball, though, has been cleared away. And now Guiseley, their fans have good voices. They've brought plenty of fans to the Horsfall Stadium. Throwing going to be taken by LeBrun and Becker. On this near right-hand side, going to be a long throw from him, the number 11. And Becker it will be, who launches one in. It's not a bad one, it's going to be flicked away, and it's going to be Motley Henry who completes the clearance. So it's more up than out. And Motley Henry gets on the end of his own clearance, and then he wins it and can bring it away up against Thierry Fairweather. He still has the ball as well. He goes inside. Here is Harrison Hopper, keeps possession, finds Brad Doherty in the middle of the pot. Doherty has to drop deep to receive the ball. He finds Akeem Hines. Hines onto Ollie Johnson. Johnson now looking for his options. He has to go back to Brad Doherty again. He's dropping very deep in this game. He finds Harrison Hopper. Fielding with a good pass. Is it? Oh, just looking for... He's looking for Lucas Johnson. He just couldn't quite find him though. And Guiseley can bring it away. And in the end, it's played forward and it's going to run out of play. It was played towards Josh Stones, aimed at him by Kane Felix, but it goes out of play for a Park Avenue throw in. Park Avenue are growing into this game now. They've seen put them ahead of steam. Not really putting too much pressure on the Guiseley goal, but they are starting to have a bit more promising play. Here is Hines, who plays one down the line. Under up towards Lewis Knight. Knight up against Ben Sheriff. Knight goes into the area. Good play by Knight. It's really good play by Knight. He carries on. Knight in all. In the end, it's challenged. Ollie Johnson goes to get there. Ben Sheriff goes down. Has to clear it away. That will be a throw in instead of a corner. He got himself in a bit of a tangle there, Ben Sheriff, but he did well in the end, the skipper. Great play by Lewis Knight into the area. It looked like he was going to pull the trigger. He just couldn't get the ball in a shooting position. Here's Ollie Johnson. Johnson plays a good ball into Knight. Knight controls it. And in the end, his ball is going to be cleared away, though, by Hutchinson. Flicked on as well by Johnston. Lund wins his header. Park Avenue really doing well now. Ball played back forward, and that will be a free kick in Park Avenue's favour. 35 minutes in. Bradford Park Avenue 0, Guiseley 0. Bit of a shoving going on there, off the ball incident, but nothing major. It's going to be taken by Sam Fielding, the free kick right on the halfway line there enough, so no, not much in position of danger. And here is Sam Fielding to take it. Well, we're just starting to grow into the game going forward. Fielding looks on towards the edge of the area. It's an offside, flags up, and that will be a free kick, to Guiseley. A bit of a waste that Park Avenue in the end. 36 minutes in, still 0-0. Best chance of the game for Park Avenue, got to say, probably came from Lewis Knight. Best opportunity of the game. As it comes to Guiseley, probably came from Hutchinson, the right back. The ball fell to him right in front of the goal near enough, but somehow Park Avenue scrambled the ball away. But other than that, there's enough to separate the two teams so far. Guiseley bottom of the league, they do know a win, and Farsley Celtic defeat would move them off bottom of the league. Currently under manager Steve Kittrick. Previously had 6 years in charge between 2007 and 2013. Recently, of course, parted ways with Ross O'Neill. Of course, he was manager from 2018, so a bit of a while. He was the manager when Guiseley last came here in 2019 and won 5-0. a long time ago now, nearly 3 years, but now times have changed for the two teams since. Here's Johnson. Johnson is fouled there in the middle of the park by Ethan Cartwright. Cartwright making his first start for, I believe it's his first start anyway today for Guiseley. He, of course, was brought in. Yeah, he was brought in for the game against Gateshead. 6-0 defeat. The ball plays forward now will be headed away. It's headed back forward by Fielding. Flipped on. Turned by Doherty. Doherty shoots a long way out. That's easily going to run through to the goalkeeper, Owen Mason. Top scorer Brad Doherty, first sniff at goal he's had all game, and it was to call it a sniff at goal might be a bit too far really. I think it was a very easy save, that a long way out, ambitious volley, easy save for goalkeeper Owen Mason, and it remains 0-0. Just over 37 minutes played. Ball going to be moved forward by Owen Mason. Ross heads it away. The standing skipper Ross, it's then flicked on by Cartwright, flicked on again by Stones, and a bit of a mix-up maybe, but in the end quite to get there. Josh Stones has it again. Stones carries on, he crosses in, it's blocked out for a corner. There's a bit of a mix-up there between Ross and Sykes Kenworthy. And Stones did get there in behind, and he got something on it, but Sykes Kenworthy got there. And they've got to be careful there, Park Avenue. Bit of a defensive mix-up, and Guiseley very nearly capitalising and taking the lead. It's going to be a corner for Guiseley on the far side.